How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Backlash Podcast. My man Marshall is over across from me. Well, actually, somewhere in Georgia, and I'm somewhere in Kentucky. But we have come together today to talk with you guys about fishing. We got some other stuff we're going to talk about. We got a few main topics, but to get things started, how's fishing been, Marshall?
I mean, about the same as last time. All this rain we've been getting, I don't know if you guys have been getting a lot in Kentucky, but like at least every other day it's been raining. It's been helping out, the lakes and the ponds. Makes it bad for river and creek fishing because now they're just stained up. But the lake fishing's doing pretty good.
I'm hearing that, man. It is tough up here. I am struggling, which I haven't been fishing a whole lot. I've been focusing a lot on crappie when I have been out. So I've had a few things going on with the boat too, so I haven't been able to get out as much as I would like. So fishing overall has been tough. I've been trying out some different lakes, which I do not suggest trying out a different lake in the middle of summer when fishing is probably the toughest that it's going to be all year. That's probably not a good thing to do.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm going to have to change the strat up on that just a little bit. Anyway, I don't know if I said this. I didn't say this in the beginning, but we try to post our podcast every week on Sunday on YouTube Sunday. And then on Mondays, we try to get the podcast form out in audio form. We don't always hold true to that, but that is kind of our very tentative schedule that we try to hold true to when we can. Sometimes we have things come up, such as Marshall dropping his $1,000 camera in the lake and, just doing Marshall things. And of course, this week I have a kind of a surprise Guggen thing I have to go to. So I don't know exactly when this one will be out. Hopefully this one will be out within a few days of when we typically post. But if you're not following us over on Spotify, on Apple Podcast or Anchor, or just any kind of podcast platform that you listen to podcasts on, then you should go check us out and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already. So, big thing that happened this past week, ICAST.
Yeah.
My feeds have been blowing up with new products, and what caught your eye this week?
I saw a few things from Justin, the kayak plug guy. He walked around and two things. I don't know if you saw that the kayak, quote unquote, I'm gonna put it in parentheses, the kayak that won the new kayak award or something at
I don't think I saw it
at ICAST, but it wasn't like a kayak. It was like
was like the thing with the paddles on the feet? Was that what you're talking about?
And the long nose?
Yes, I saw that.
That was a kayak. Considered a kayak. And you paddle it with your feet, but it actually has paddles on the side. But it's got this long protruding like nose. Yeah. And you sit on it and it looks like a miniature little John boat with a little nose that sticks off the end. It's weird looking. I wouldn't buy one.
When I saw that,
I think it was like $2,500 too.
Dang, man. I don't even know if I'm coordinated enough to do that. Like, I can't even paddle with my hands.
I feel like
so how are you gonna
would be extremely hard with your feet because you have to pull. It's not a push.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I saw that. I actually saw a famous fisherman post that. I want to think that's where I saw it, and it just right off. I almost thought it was like a joke. I was like, this isn't real, and it's surprising that qualifies as a kayak. Like, I don't know. What is your definition of kayak? Because it doesn't.
It's either
it kind of spreads out in the back, right? It's like a boat. You know?
It's like, I guess they considered it a kayak since it was a single man. I still consider it like a single person John boat, but whatever, Is an El Camino a truck or a car? The debate will never be settled. It was something to do with a kayak award. Maybe it wasn't the best. Maybe it was the most creative or craziest kayak at the show. I can't remember exactly what it was. I personally wouldn't buy it. I thought that was a pretty crazy contraption. There was that and the rod, the snake rod that had the knife in the butt. You saw that one? There was this rod and it had this bend on it, but the rod was made to hold like this. I don't know, it's just like the whole rod set on the back of your arm and the handle came up and you held it like that, and out of the butt of the rod pops out this little knife shank that's made into the rod. And it's like, what is that for?
Did you see the net that weighs the fish? What do you think about that? Is it Fraybill? How do you pronounce that? I don't even know how to pronounce that.
I think it's Fraybill.
I think it is Fraybill.
I think it's a pretty cool idea. I wouldn't go off that scale to be 100% accurate, because you have to think about how much water weight the net's going to hold when you net a fish. I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool idea, though. I mean, if that's all you got,
yeah, I think it's a cool
great.
concept. It's innovative for sure. I mean, I never even thought about that, like weighing the fish. I mean, I could definitely see like catfishermen maybe using that. You know, bass fishermen. You know, I feel like they want a little bit more of a precise reading, and I just don't know that you're going to get that out of it. I don't know. Maybe it's dialed in. I have no idea. I don't know, but it's $150, so I think it'll be a long time probably before I figure out if it's dialed in.
Because what?
To be honest,
what?
Unless they want sponsors. I mean,
$40 and a good scale, $40. Like, you're spending a lot less buying them separate.
Yeah, $80. It's half the price. But I also saw, just talking about some things we saw at ICAST, Berkeley coming out with a bladed jig.
Slobber knocker.
Didn't it win the best hard bait, I want to say? Best hard bait? I don't know. Maybe. But the slobber knocker. What a name. I'm a big fan of the name.
I literally said that. I'm like, out of everything you could have come out with.
Slobber knocker. Sounds like I don't know. Sounds like a drink or something.
Yeah.
Get slobber knockered, you know? But I'm anxious to try it out. I'm a big bladed jig guy. I'm anxious to try it out. That's really the only thing that I can think of. Did you see the new Googan baits by chance? The chatterbait trailer, the happy trailer.
I didn't.
Okay, that thing, I'm gonna tell you right now, the Googans are super excited about that. I know Rob has put on his story that he's already calling it the best chatterbait trailer out there, which, you know, I think is to be determined, but it definitely looks like it could.
Does it look similar? What does it look similar to?
Absolutely nothing. That's the great thing about it. I know a lot of people hate on Googan because they claim that they copy other people's baits, all that stuff. We've had that conversation before. But there's literally nobody out there that can say this is a copy of anything. Have you not seen it?
I'm trying to go.
Logan Anderson posted a video, and it's actually shared on the Googan story. So you can go there and check it out. But I think you did.
I'm on the Team Googan official Facebook page, seeing if anybody's posted it.
Well, I can send you a picture of it.
Because I want to know if it looks similar to my current favorite chatterbait trailer or not.
It's unlike anything you've ever seen. I'll give you that. I'm excited about it. To look at it, your immediate concern is durability. You seen it?
Those are pretty freaking slick, dude.
Oh man, it just goes crazy, I reckon. I've never used these things. I have held them in my hand, but I just reckon it is crazy.
It's kind of similar.
So I'm pretty pumped about it.
To the one that is currently my favorite.
Okay.
Let me get my favorite up real quick, and you tell me if it's similar. It is similar, but it's different.
Okay. Is it the Big Bite Baits one?
It is.
Okay. I think it's quite a bit different than that one. I also like that trailer. Let's see.
So this currently, let me get it on my main camera for the viewers.
Yeah, if you guys listen in audio version, he's holding up the Big Bite Baits. What's it called? I don't even know what that thing's called.
I think, well, this one's cut in half. It's supposed to have another leg right there, but that's the Big Bite Baits.
Okay.
But the reason I say it's similar, it's kind of got the little ribbed section, just like the Googan has.
Yeah. Our ribs are much smaller.
And it's kind of broken.
Though. Our ribs are almost, looks like kind of like the ribs on a Yoda worm.
Exactly.
I want to say. Yeah. And then it goes in, it almost looks like an accordion type deal. You know? There's a lot of different there's a lot of things to displace water in a lot of different ways. And I do think it is quite a bit different than that one, but that is probably the closest thing that you could pick up.
That's why I said this is the closest.
Yeah, that probably is the closest. And you said that's your favorite.
And since this is already my favorite.
Yeah.
The Guggen's gonna slap.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I'm really pumped about that one. They have some other things going on. The Bass Mafia swim baits were a big thing. The Dangerous
Which is
swim bait, I want to
technically
say.
sub Guggen, Guggen's sister company, right?
Yeah. They're under the same umbrella. Yeah. So Bass Mafia and Guggen are kind of together. If you guys didn't know that, but I'm excited for a lot of Bass Mafia stuff. I'm not going to say much because I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, and I don't want to get anybody mad at me. But there's a lot of stuff happening under Bass Mafia that is very exciting. So that's pretty cool. And of course, Guggen too. They're coming out with crappie baits and the Slizzard, the new lizard. It's been a while since I've thrown a lizard, but early on, I was a big lizard guy. Springtime,
It seems
Carolina
like
rig.
everybody starts off with it being big lizard guys.
Yeah. Then you just kind of get away
Like
from
that's
it.
all I threw when I was a kid.
Same.
Yeah.
I love a Mojo rigged lizard. It's pretty much if you don't know what that is, just a little. It's kind of like a tiny Carolina rig, but bedded fish loved it, and man, I wore it out. Of course, I started out with the Zoom lizard. That's kind of the one that really pops in your head, but I'm really pumped about their lizard. It's very different, and I think it's going to be a big deal. Those Slizzard. What do you think about that name?
Yeah. I like it.
You like it? I kind of like it too.
Name is like half the product.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
See, like Slobber Knocker, it's gonna sell just because people are gonna want to be like, I'm throwing the Slobber Knocker.
That was a killer name. I gotta hand it to him, man. I like that name. Oh, Slobber Knocker. Sounds like something we say around here, around the house. I've been saying Slobber Knocker forever, since I was born.
Yeah.
Come out saying Slobber Knocker. But that's pretty cool. Anything else that caught your eye? ICAST.
Was the Guggen Baitcasters technically an ICAST release?
They were.
Or no?
Yes, they were. Have you seen those?
Okay.
I assume you have.
They're pretty slick, but for the price point, I really hope they can compete with Shimano.
Yeah, I think they're going to
price.
retail for $189. I've not personally held one myself, but I know when they were in the process of designing these, that I'd heard them talk about it a little bit, and they were really wanting to make them really durable and just make them like workhorses. So I haven't tried one out. We'll see how it goes. And but I'm pretty pumped about it. It looks sick.
I almost figured they would have, how they have a gold rod and a green rod?
Yeah.
I almost figured they'd have like a gold bait cast and a green bait cast, where one would be more around 100 and the other would be about 200.
I think they probably will. Have you seen the spinning reel?
That one looks pretty slick.
I think there is a green spinning reel out.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay, so I only assume that there will be probably a green baitcaster. From what I understand, baitcasters are much harder to design and put together than a spinning reel. So I would expect the spinning maybe to come out first. I don't know. No idea. I have no insight into that, but maybe they'll just release them at the same time. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have much insight into the reels, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited to try them out because I know what they had in mind, or at least what I heard said when they were making them. So I'm excited about it. I'm kind of a reel guy. I love my Shimano.
Was there anything crazy new at ICAST? Because that's about all I can think of.
That's all that I can think of as a guy that didn't go. I wasn't there. I don't think you went. So
No.
yeah, that's the big ones that stick out to me. I don't know if there was like a soft bait, best soft bait or anything like that, but I don't know. But yeah, big takeaways. The kayak was definitely the one that caught my eye the most, and probably followed by the net, the weighing net. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, so I don't know if you saw this, but Fishing After Dark actually posted their first podcast in 2 months. And we've been making a big deal about it over the last couple podcasts, I want to say. Did you see that?
Right. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't know if you did.
I was able to listen to about 10 minutes, and I remember I was working or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to get back to this later. And then later just never happened.
Yeah.
I ended up getting sick.
Oh,
and
really?
I've been kind of dying for about the past week. So
Dang.
I'm interested to hear why they left. If they're coming back, or are they? What's What's their plan? Maybe I should have listened to that podcast.
We should have.
Before we started this.
We should have.
Because I'm curious to know, like, are they going to be back on a weekly grind?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was. I want to say it's a longer podcast too. So, and I know Carl's withdrew their sponsorship. You saw that.
I got to that part. Yeah. Because I mean, they weren't posting.
Yeah. I mean, Carl's was like, hey, we ain't posting it. We're not sponsoring this. It ain't happening. We ain't sponsoring it. But yeah, I know they've just been super busy. I'm glad to see them post again. I don't know. Maybe it was their big farewell. I don't even know. You know. They seem very busy. I mean, they're over here planting big boats in Lojo's Pond and building Norma House and, you know, all this stuff. So I'm sure they're super busy. And I'm pretty sure that's what they said in what little bit of the podcast that I saw. So
what? I'm having a brain fart. What's their podcast name again? Fishing After Dark?
Fishing After Dark. What a podcast name, too. That was a great name.
I'm just going to go to their video and see what the comments say.
Yeah, go check.
Maybe we can get some... Maybe we can get some foresight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, read some of those comments. Well, while Marshall was looking that up, we're going to go ahead and read some reviews. How about that? I think we got one new one? Two? I think just one new one. All right.
Oh, yeah, for real?
Yeah, here we go. Leaving a 5-star because Tate and Marshall told me to do it. But on the real, this is a great podcast. They give tons of insight on fishing-related topics, and they also don't down other anglers like other fishing podcasts do. They keep it positive. Wow, that was a meaty comment. I like that one.
I don't know who wrote that one, but I know who it sounded like.
Who's that?
I was going to say Zuggy, just because they keep it positive guy.
Hey, big positive guy. Zuggy is a big positive guy.
Oh.
It says LRJ
I meant to
fishing.
ask.
LRG fishing. I don't know. I don't know if that's the real name, but pretty cool.
I kind of want to ask the audience if they'd be interested in hearing maybe us do some type of collab call.
Yeah.
With some other folks. I've had some folks say that they want to get on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we could do... I still want to get Matty B on the pod.
You going to get Matty B on the pod?
I want to.
Matty B, you know what? Matty B should have his own podcast. You know, he just feels like a podcast guy. He's just so articulate and just like, you know, he uses those big words. Half time I don't know what he's talking about. I just kind of shake my head and like, okay, yep. But if you guys want to leave us a review, I think over on Apple Podcast you can actually leave something like that, and on Spotify you can just do like 5 stars or 4 stars. Prefer those big juicy 5 stars if you're going to do it. Really helps out the podcast.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was anything decently said on the comments, and all everybody is saying is glad to see you back, basically. Like, nobody's saying anything that there's anything other than that.
If you guys haven't listened to them, by the way, we highly recommend them. We love those guys, and they were kind of our inspiration to start this podcast. Them along with, I listen to Alex Rudd Fishing quite a bit. I love his podcast. He does a great job. So, those are a couple other podcasts if you guys like fishing podcast. But anything else to add on today's? We just kind of wanted to recap some things that we thought were interesting at ICAST, even though we weren't really even there.
Yeah.
But just some of the big highlights that we saw.
Yeah. I mean, if it popped up on TikTok and YouTube, then those are probably the best things. I'm sure there was a lot of other interesting products. I know Bonafide, who I have kayaks, they just come out with a new line of rods.
Really?
And there's supposed to be some top tier rods, kind of like G Loomis, St. Croix. Like, they're supposed to be like $300 plus rods. And I talked to Justin. He said that they went into this wanting to get into the top of the line rod industry. They weren't trying to make any like starter rods or like middle of, like they were just wanting to make the best of the best. So I'm gonna try to get my hands on one of those since I'm sponsored by Bonafide, and I don't know. I'm curious to see. I've never owned a rod that nice. I've never owned a $500 G Loomis or anything similar. So I'm thinking I can get my hand on one of these rods, and I'm pretty excited to see, you know, if they're going to be a big player in the rod game from now on, because they're brand new on the market. They're called a Bad Bass rod or something like that. something like that.
No clue.
It's a bona fide.
I think it's interesting though. You see these
And
companies like Bonafide, who's made kayaks forever, and like Bass Mafia, who's always been like just fishing, like storage, and now they're like branching out, and like Guggen's coming out with reels. I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool, and I'm anxious to see how it goes. Honestly, I'm anxious to see how the Bonafide rods go.
I think Guggen. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not releasing any sensitive information. This is just a theory of mine. I believe in 10 years' time, Guggen's going to have just about everything on the market.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's going to be a Guggen kayak.
Oh yeah.
There's probably going to be, I don't know why there wouldn't be, a Guggen green kayak.
Oh yeah,
will buy
100%.
them. There's probably going to be Guggen everything before it's all said and done, I believe. I mean, anything that can and will be made, I think Guggen's going to be in that space
definitely.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm excited about it. I really am. Like I said, Bass Mafia's got a lot of stuff going on, and there's just a lot of stuff happening. Stuff that I don't know about, stuff that you don't know about it. Because obviously this stuff's been in the works. You just don't pop up and make a fishing rod overnight. You know what I mean? So Bonafide's been working on this, and who knows what they're going to be working on 5 years from now. That's going to be coming out. So exciting. There's a lot of innovation right now in the fishing world. You think it's got to the end, and then it just keeps going. So, I mean, who would have ever thought of a fishing net that's going to weigh your 10-pounder, you know? It's pretty wild. But you want to take us out of here?
Everybody, we appreciate you sticking around all the way to the end of the podcast. Hopefully, we can get back into the groove of things. We're doing a little bit better than what we were doing. Tate's going to Guggen Week, so this might come out a little bit later than the last podcast, but we should be back on our Sunday to Monday regular grind here.
Yeah. If not, we try to do one per week. Anyway.
We appreciate all the support. We're still looking for a sponsor for the podcast. You can sponsor us by, I don't know, send us an email. We can talk about maybe if you have a sponsorship request or you're interested in it. And hopefully we'll see you guys on the next episode. See you guys.